just staring at the monitor locked in. EG, different story.
Completely opposite. If you were lucky enough to be in the crowd, Okeanos was playing rock, paper, scissors with people, was chatting them up. The rest of EG had calm juggling. They were doing some Microsoft Paint. It was beautiful, but now we've got some Valorant on our hands. We're jumping into game one.
An elimination game to lock in for these two teams. 100 Thieves that have only lost to Champions thus far against an EG who has started to work through this lower bracket, and well, we'll have to work on their retake this round. C left open is 100 Thieves Exec.
Yeah, it's going to be a casual 5-on-5 for the retake. Doesn't seem like Bao wants to do anything, so maybe some forward hunting from Timotino. See, the rest of Evil Genius is taking a lot of control on the rest of the map.
Yeah, I like seeing them set up for a double flank here. But the question is, how does 100 Thieves respond once they realize an opportunity to push towards CT and fight close, cut this flank in half?
It's going to have to be quick thinking from them. Once 100 Thieves realize the flank is underway, two players now revealing themselves down long as Okeano strikes. 100 Thieves fight forward. That's all the players back in spawn dealt with, and a beautiful hold out from Vora. This round is wraps.
Exact right reaction from 100 Thieves. Realize you have pressure on one side, fight out the other. Timotino leads the team to great success there. This is 100 Thieves that is playing more solo duelists than pretty much anyone else right now. But Timo in that role has impressed me to no end in this tournament thus far. Be it on the Neon with great decision-making and movement, or on his Waylay that we'll get to see later on in this series, which I think is one of the best in Americas right now.
Has definitely been putting up numbers, been looking real strong on it. And 100 Thieves now moving into round two with the advantage. Gear up 5 players again, this time over towards A.
Interceptor to counter on any utility that would go the other way. It's interesting to see how that veto cues in on the attack side, and if you're a team that is, you know, going for that early default, using it to nullify fight utility and make that A lobby hold way easier is a great asset of that agent.
Yeah, stop the early fights, stop the refights, and then can reset like Cryo's done now to just contain and see if anyone's walked up into mid or C.
And if you keep that utility for a post plant, makes the retake that much more difficult.
Now, 100 Thieves are heading into an A stack. 4 players here on the site, and that includes some buys from EEG, a shorty on comm, and this Marshall that's now been dealt with. Timotino has the Phantom, so with that kill, it does look like 100 Thieves are going to move back towards Cryo in mid.
Seeing Neon in heaven is really suspicious, and they're going to realize that there's something else going on. Cryo will walk in and might catch a timing here onto Bao.
And with Cryo's position, he's about to hear a lot of footsteps rotating back through spawn as well, so he knows he has a timing to creep up into the smoke. See if he can find a kill. A little bit unexpected as the flank is dealt with, and 100 Thieves continue to control this map.
Both these teams play very flank heavy on their retakes on defense, so have to be aware throughout this match of Haven as Cryo stealing this spot.
A little bit patient, now stepping forward. Off a paranoia and finds his mark, so nice workout from 100 Thieves. Now one of the difficulties I think EG is going to face on this defensive half early on is by losing that early pistol, by going for some lighter buys of the Marshall in this round. That means they're going to get that operator online a lot later than they'd probably like to have for a guy like Digizin, who is absolutely farming with it always.
Yeah, he was plus 33 in the last match this team played. He's really been a monster after coming in as this unusual pickup. A Brazilian player who got dropped, you know, some rumors of maybe not being the best teammate. Went back down to tier 2 for his second time. But just reappears on the CG roster and is immediately finding the individual success that you know he can get at his peak.
Now Evil Geniuses with the buy. Set up with Digizin over on the A side of the map, but like we were talking about, it can be hard to fight up for that early space when the Interceptor goes down.
I'm really looking at how EG approach A lobby control. In their previous game, they played a lot of rounds where Calm was solo holding long. It's really tough to contain from that position when you're against a double smokes comp.
And EG haven't done a whole lot fighting for it. After 2 rounds of that Interceptor being in A lobby, 100 Thieves have control, though this time they only put 2 players over here, so it's given 100 Thieves a lot of map control, even showing some presence now in mid. That pulls a smoke out from Oki, while the rest of the team comes into A, and this fight over short is going to really determine the round. Zen creeps up into it, but is hard held, and there was no utility behind that. That was fully out on his own. That's now a Phantom to be upgraded from 100 Thieves, as they still have plenty of time to work with.
They're going to call back. They don't have a lurk to go into easily this round, but still with plenty of time to make a re-clear happen on this map. Even on the bonus round, this is a winning position.
And 100 Thieves call against EG's tendencies twice in a row now as EG stack 4 players on that A site. Again, 100 Thieves call that and now find themselves on an empty C site.
And now you look at a possible retake scenario where you're down your Neon, retaking into C with some great utility, including that interceptor in the post plant. It's going to be tough to even get out of the choke.
And we get to see some different post-plant protocols from 100 Thieves. Still the forward fight from their Neon, but this time there is that late presence in mid. Bang has a chance to backstab or come back into garage if he so desires. There is an alarm bot right on his left shoulder, but at the same time, Timotino jumps up into window, taken out. But still, Evil Geniuses don't have an infinite amount of time, and as one player goes out into the open all on his own, as Cryo and Bang lock down garage, Calm is gonna just have to straggle away.
One of the most impressive facets of this new 100 Thieves to me has just been their protocols in general. I think that in every state of the round, they always have very clear ideas of what their next step is going to be. They've always been a team, going back to previous coaches, previous leaders, that we knew for having preset strats, great ideas of how they wanted to run an exec at the beginning of rounds. But I think where they've been excellent this season is in those post lanes, always having the next step ready. Here, not just one reflank that gets picked off, but a second player ready to pinch in and very carefully choosing what utility to save to put themselves into that winning position.
Could be worse.
Well, now that's found 100 Thieves with a bonus round victory. EG only have the saved Phantom for Calm, and he's playing by himself on the A side.
And for EG, this is rough. Their last game, they won 3 out of 4 bonus rounds themselves. Probably the only reason that didn't go 3 maps against Envy.
Yeah, that one nearly slipped away from them. But EG did enough to find themselves in this match today. See how they can problem solve here now as 100 Thieves round after round have gotten so much map control virtually for free. The only difference this round is actually the forward step up out of bow all the way down C long that informs a little bit better for EG when they want to go for these A stacks.
EG might want to go for a refight. Super caught by Bang.
It felt a little bit scattered from EG, especially on these short fights. Players just running out one by one. When they do swing together, that's when 100 Thieves have 3 players trained on the line. So they get mowed down here with just the pistols in hand.
I do question the re-aggression there on a light buy. You have such great info with the push-up towards long. They still had information from that alarm bot in garage. Would have liked to see them just hold back and quiet stack that with the worst weapons.
See if it's maybe just them getting a little over-eager, trying to be a bit of a hero, go for an early pick when they have the weaker weaponry, but it does seem to me like A has to be, and A lobby in particular, has to be the problem area of the map to solve.
Good news though. Next round for EG, even though this one is a wash, they will have an operator for DG's in.
Oh, well, that's a way to solve all of your problems.
Yeah, well, maybe not all of them, but I think when you can set him up on a line forward at one side of the map, it makes it so much easier to just go into those stacks together, hard anchor, and feel like you have less need to go for these kind of active plays that they've been getting caught on.
It is still a little bit tough to find value with that up if you wanted to take it over towards A when the Viper wall is always going to be in play, break up your crosshair.
So then we have to think, is the real problem our lack of a lobby control? And I think that's really what EG is worried about, is you see 3 players to fight it here. However, with an interceptor always available, it's hard to full send. You kind of have to refight into this space instead.
Yeah, 100 Thieves would really like just putting Cryo and Bang into A, look for Cryo, or Bang rather, to get that little insert. The rest of 100 Thieves into mid, and as that operator gets the pick, that can be the go button for 100 Thieves now. Zooming up into garage. Timotino actually, without support, immediately behind him, now finds himself in the open, doesn't matter. And now that speed up for 100 Thieves comes in. Still a player to be dealt with backside. Smokes to lodge Supa inside as more support comes in, but it doesn't matter. Timotino on fire through this C side.
DG's been spotted as well. That op's not getting saved again. Down it goes, and 100 Thieves not only win the round, but eviscerate EG's money.
Like clockwork.
And it's another miscue in a critical spot. Bao, tucked in the left corner, chooses a timing to swing alone into garage. And as soon as he falls, makes it all the easier for 100 Thieves to split that site, use some lovely utility for backside, and just completely dismantle EG's hold.
And you know the worst part? I mean, losing a 5th round in a row is probably the
That's
worst
bad.
part. But like number 2, that operator, Cryo picked it up, threw it off the map. So no chance to get that one back online. Digizin is going to be waiting another couple rounds before he can dip into that fund again.
And the beginning for the guys who have been really the flag bearers for EG in the 2 games they've won in the lower bracket. Digizin alongside Superman. 1 kill combined right now.
It's been a tough start for them.
But look at those shots from Timotino, man. He is, I think, so far for Americas. He got it eventually.
Yeah, you know.
Timo, though, is I think for me, right now, the rookie I have been the most impressed with in Americas. He has been so good individually. His decision-making has been great, and he's playing such a hard role. I was talking about it earlier, but he doesn't have a Yoru to fall back on. He is solo entering in so many of these rounds, and is often put into really tough situations that he can consistently navigate out of. Really great work by this rookie.
I mean, even if you're just looking at that last round, he proved a couple of different things that were just solid on his own. First of all, that first fight, just a straight-up gunfight. He wins it on his own, but then his pathing to fight forward into the smoke that was on site and wait. When he peeks through, that wasn't just a random timing he took. No, that was exactly when his own teammates were stepping in to fight that player backside. That's why he's able to catch those 2 players right in the side of the head. It's very good individual play, but also combining that element with his team play.
Exactly. Turning over to EG, though. This round is an eco, so it'll be a little different. But when we get on rifle rounds, the solution EG needs to find is how to deal with a lobby. They have not had control of that space once, which means they're playing low info. Even when a C hit comes in, their A anchors don't feel comfortable early rotating. They need to figure out how to defeat that interceptor in lobby and take this space.
Com donated the Phantom over to Digizin for this round. Just have a little trap set up on A long, but 100 Thieves have maybe even changed up their approach in these rounds coming out of the timeout. Not putting those 2 players isolated in A lobby this time around. Instead playing a little bit more bundled and really expecting some form of aggression on the anti-eco.
Seems like they're very suspicious of that coming from A lobby. Wouldn't hate to see a B finish in this round. They have worked into that space quite a few times.
Something Vor has shown quite a few times has been this prowler up through mid around the 1-minute mark to try and dislodge anyone that's crept up underneath window or is stepping into the space. What that means for 100 Thieves is very likely they'd expect, you know, they have to be a little bit more diligent as they clear down into A, because the main places you take space on this map are either down through mid or up towards A lobby.
How many does the drone catch?
I don't know if it's going to get any, really.
No.
Yeah. Time's
They
out
walk
last
past.
second.
And Com now is about to walk straight into his death.
Well, you better start running, Com. Get out of there, buddy. It's not going to happen as, well, little self-stun.
From both neons.
All right, don't watch that. It doesn't really matter. It's still going to be that retake. No stuns into the mix. Sumatino just lights things up.
Was that self-stuns or did they trade stunts? I think the one in spawn was red. Either way, EG on a retake with the pistols now, but that interceptor will block all util, or not.
Digizin with the Vandal. The Phantom, rather, but 100 Thieves again doing excellent work. A 1-on-2 now for Digizin. Pops the ult. Thinks he has a chance, but the crossfire, too solid. 100 Thieves stay perfect.
Got a little dicey in that anti-eco. You can see that the Paranoia, of course, can still rip through that interceptor unaffected and get some blinds up, allow a couple kills with the pistols. But again, that second layer of post-plant protocol from 100 Thieves just too good. This is just brutal. Com so close to finding a player. It's no information and instead dies. So now we look ahead. It's 6-0.
Yep.
How do they deal with A lobby?
Yeah, I got the scuba skin line.
Well, they got to get the scuba skin line, Mimi.
Okay, of course.
They got to wait till the next game. Yeah, hard to say. It doesn't look like they've changed too much. Okeanos is playing down short for the time being. Digizin does have the operator. Back again. But I feel like 100 Thieves have changed their approach coming out of that timeout. Again, sort of anticipating the adjustments EG are going to make and have filtered down into mid virtually uncontested.
And it's such a passive hold for EG. Only the alarm bot here. And with that ult popped, 100 Thieves will simplify. Straight up take on the B site with no one home to counter.
Well, Hunter's Fury.
Well, it doesn't matter. Unaffected is Cryo.
Well, he might have gotten someone. Timatino's trying to run. He's all the way back towards spawn. Taken on through, but now it's Viper's Pit. Turns the B site green. EG have to navigate their way back in. First is going to be out these doors. Bora in the open, doesn't matter. Locks it down.
Face your fear!
Now the teleport on top side from Okeanos. He can't see anything. He's up here, prowled out. Digizen's got an operator, using it like a shotgun. No one has a clue what's going on this site. It's a mixture of colors. Full on rainbows, Okeanos gets one.
There's just no time.
Still a pit as the flank comes in. Bang is still alive, stalling it out. Another for 100 Thieves.
Technically a Red Bull clutch for Bang as he dances his way into a 7th straight round. And EG had the right approach, fight out from Garage, get these players off of the areas in mid, outside that Viper's Pit so you can pinch into the Viper. No. Bora gets 2 kills, easily shuts it down. And going back to your point, 100 Thieves make great decisions. They're trying to deal with A lobby, they're trying to change it up. Okay, we just simplify. Send them a B hit with the ult and win a round.
How many times has Bora been able to just find empty sites this game? It feels like 4 or 5 rounds, completely uncontested, but now, the operator that was saved. How confident are you feeling? No way! Already spammed out down short? There were smokes in front of that one.
Sometimes everything goes your way in a game. This op still posted in the closed corner.
You gotta get this kill to give EG a chance in the round, but it's so patient from 100 Thieves.
They're waiting for the re-aggression, and they might be about to find it. 2 players walking down mid from EG.
I have the spike.
Any Prowlers left for Bora, still has 2. This is usually when you use it down in mid. Yeah, as I'm saying, but it spots a deeper player. Still though, that's enough information for 100 Thieves just to regroup and move towards A. It all comes down to Digizen. Nice shot from him, instantly slips on out. The stun to slow things down, as now the rest of 100 Thieves realize they've got to go. There's no more time to wait. Another brilliant shot out of Digizen. And Supa's crept into the corner. Nice work out from him. 100 Thieves not gone yet. The shotgun dealt with, not again.
Kickoff do it again.
No shot. 3 for Cryo, and the round for 100 Thieves.
That's such a heartbreaker for EG. Digizen has been their salvation in so many games. Looked like he was about to do it again. Hits 2 stunning op shots, backside. One on Timatino in particular, so impressive. But the second he falls.
What?
Unlucky for Oki, I guess. Bao jumping around the corner with the judge. Him not getting a kill there. Really the last straw. And this game on EG's map choice is rough. That's a second timeout called.
Potter Riffin, the second timeout in 8 rounds. And the last timeout was, what, 2 rounds ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 3. But then 100 Thieves immediately changed up their game plan, put more of a focus on mid, won 2 rounds, and, well, now, again, EG trying to settle down.
And this is a tough situation to be in, because normally when you play a game like this and it's like, okay, we haven't been fighting for so much forward space, like maybe we change that and run some aggro plays on the defense side. That sounds great in theory in terms of mixing it up, but we have the benefit of watching how 100 Thieves have been so controlled, waiting for that aggression. Even though EG haven't shown it yet, if they do fight up, I feel like 100 Thieves are prepared for it entirely.
Yeah, because you're either running into an interceptor A lobby, or in mid, the Prowler is coming in a minute, you're getting re-cleared in that area. Maybe this is the round where we finally get an honest A lobby fight. You've tried it before, where they've crept up into the smoke. Even that last round where they got spammed down short.
I almost think EG would have a better shot just trying to blow it up through mid, up into window a little bit quicker, if they wanted to go for it. Currently, Digizen, all on his own steps forward.
Go, go, go.
This is interesting.
Bring them down.
100 Thieves rarely so split on an anti-eco. But after showing so much presence in Garage,
They're biting
Initiator
on this.
and Duelist, yeah. As you say, some amount of bite. And with the rotate out from Digizin, that has opened up the A site.
So really, the only hope of this round now is Calm in this weird position.
Oh my, are they gonna try and sell a fake B hit into an A split? I think that's the vision. Maybe enough counter util to send Timotino out of here, as the step out of Garage is just a little bit too late. And now Calm, up long. The shot's not found. Rest of 100 Thieves mows down Evil Geniuses on the approach again.
It's just meticulous. 100 Thieves had walked 3 players into A. Still, they're sliding out. They're hard clearing the Sova, aware of it.
And Bora always holding down the flank. You think about the pistol round where he got 2. You think about that round outside Garage. Again, good for 1, but Supa has now called Okeanos over to his side of the map. That's awkward. It's given 100 Thieves control of Heaven, Hell of Spawn. Not a great plan for that, but still the time is there, and with a wide swing, high-low, make that 9 in a row.
This is outrageous for 100 Thieves now. Finally, after 9 rounds played, the second opportunity for an op to be bought over for Digizin. But at this point, it just feels too little too late. Look at this re-clear. Timotino is so on his game.
One enemy remaining.
Just crisp in every shot.
I'm out of here.
Okay, up out of Garage door. Something new. Digizin. Oh, okay, he gets it. Had to go for the rescope, down on 30 HP. Now without Cryo in the mix, 100 Thieves realize, wait a second, we actually don't have to waste any time. Onto this B site. That should be an easy plant for them. And his fight forward is a disaster. Timotino drops, so now eyes turn to Asuna. Boosted up on site, now getting flushed out by a lockdown. Makes some noise. I mean, he has the ultimate to try and cancel. Gonna try and shadow step his way out of there. Regardless, doesn't have a second one, so he's detained. This round is a disaster for 100 Thieves. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And, all right.
Okay, if you showed me that round in a vacuum and then told me one of these teams is up 9-0, who is it? I would have guessed EG. That was just ridiculous. Everything that could have possibly been dismantled was Timotino fighting into Link with a self-stun. Even earlier.
Yeah, even
this.
This
Just a nice shot from DG, a little whiff out of Cryo.
Brutal
And then
stuff.
Asuna detained. I mean, a little levity to what has felt like an execution thus far.
Sometimes you just need that first round, Mimi.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the floodgates. I don't know if this is that time.
We're so back, boys. Let's go,
We're so
EG.
back. Oh, we'll see what happens here. 100 Thieves, can they get over the mental hurdle of losing 1 round?
Yeah, so true. Oh, Calm, don't die in this corner again.
Sound advice.
It's been a few times this game.
Does seem like Okeanos is getting repositioned a little closer, but now the Prowler spots him. Pressure mounting as the onslaught of EG members supports Calm. Nice work from him. Get his before dropping. Now these rounds getting a little bit scattered out of 100 Thieves. Look at Cryo still stuck around in mid. That's a 3K out from Okeanos. Mimi, the floodgates are opening.
Yes, they are. I mean, another round where just a few little mistakes for 100 Thieves. Missed timing and how they fight up into short. I think maybe an overcommitment. This is a team that's been very thorough in playing these slow rounds and finding the right site. This really feels like the first time this game they've actually hit a site with players on it.
Yeah. 2 rounds in a row as well where 100 Thieves have moved a little bit quicker too. 2 rounds where, even though Digizin's op isn't finding a huge amount of value like in this last round, it's been heading over towards the C side, which means I think the actual fighting on site from EG has been a little bit more supported. The multiple rifles and players rotating over, so good work there. We'll get 2 in a row for EG.
9-3. I don't want to oversell it, but it does make it doable. Remember, they won 3 out of 4 of their pistol rounds and bonus rounds. in the game that they won against Envy. They've been good for that, and that's the start of something, of a comeback. Okeanos, good to see him getting it going. I feel like since joining the CG roster, I haven't had that game where I'm watching and thinking, this is the guy that impressed me so much on Lev last year.
So 100 Thieves back working into mid. It's been rare they've seen a player here. Now Okeanos playing the high line. Nothing to be found just yet. Remember, this fight into Garage went poorly for Bao the last time. This time falls into the backside. This time the operator is there and the ult canceled in backside. Dodges it nice on the first one, taken down, and the rest of 100 Thieves here in full force. Cryo fully evolved. Now takes the forward position. He can play inside this pit. Got a lot of room to work with. No decay to affect him. And with the shorty as well. Stepping into it, that's 3 for him, and 100 Thieves right back in it.
The more you watch this Vito get played, the more situations where you think about just how strong that ult can be. Being able to sit in a pit with a shorty out and have the HP advantage is so big. And this round felt just way more like the rest of this game. Great scaling from 100 Thieves, getting the spam kills they've been finding all game. And going up 10-2 at the half. It's desperation for EG. Let's see if they've got anything left in the tank after this.
Can I help you, sir?
Here's the bill from the dealership where I got my car, and I'd like you to beat it with a better deal on one of these fine cars.
Not how it works.
Guess you're not as cool as Verizon.
Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill for a better deal today.
Well, Mimi, for the faithful, it'll have to start with a pistol round for EG. They're trailing 2-10 at the half after 100 Thieves just thoroughly dismantled them on their own attacking side. Now EG with Potter once again, her last chance to really talk to the team after using both timeouts to get EG ready to put up a fight here.
Bad news for the faithful, though. Last time 100 Thieves played this map, I think they were better on the defense than they were on the attack. They looked very impressive. In particular, the litany of setups they have around Cryo on this Vito, either with fast rotates or some aggressive plays. I feel like he gets so much value and has so much freedom in the way he sets up. You even see on this pistol, starts towards long, but can teleport back if needed.
EG played so passively on the defensive side. Interesting to see 100 Thieves look to get Timatino tucked away by Bunny early on here. The rest of his team has fallen away, but no one's looking in that corner. A little bit shaky. Stun doesn't matter. Timatino drops his own stun. It's a 1-for-1 at the start as Evil Geniuses destroy this mid-hold.
Great pick from Supa. Picks the perfect time to swing and now continues fighting for more.
It might be too much. Up into window and shut down. And that's a problem because the rest of Evil Geniuses real far back. The only space they had was in Garage. Now that they've lost that player, they have no information on this map at all.
And it gives time for 100 Thieves to group. Work together outside of Garage and a chance to push through.
That turret getting a ping tells Evil Geniuses a lot. But are they worried more about their flank now? Garage? Still a lot of question marks. Right now, none of those areas a concern.
100 Thieves expected off of that turret being broken. EG to run it back towards A.
30 seconds left.
They're wrong. Instead, it'll have to be a set retake. Onto this site 3-on-3.
That turret guarding long is real nice, though. It lets Evil Geniuses step up towards C-Link. A forward position here. Very early for 100 Thieves to deal with. Opening exchange. The brief ceasefire ends with Dudges in. Landing the killing blow on Vora. Now 100 Thieves know this fight is up here, but it doesn't matter. Lethal from the duelist.
DJ's had a very slow start to this game, as did the rest of his team. But now, he's starting to come online. 14-9, leading the way for his team. And look at the pivotal kills he gets this round. That one on Vora, taking away the Fade utility, continuing to fight up for a third.
Ooh, I'm about to get some ecos! I'm about to get some ecos!
And Okeano's excited about the prospect of round 14.
Absolutely wild. He's been so loose, even during the tech issues.
I mean,
he's having fun, even after
showing off his other skills. Some great artwork there.
Even trailing 10-3 still. Having some energy for Evil Geniuses.
You see how heavily EG's buying into this one. Keeping pretty much all of these guns feels like a necessity. Give that bonus round a good chance. But they've got the right stack, 4 players.
I'm a little
Here
concerned, Mimi.
against them. Oh.
And that's a counter paranoia ready to go. That's not utility in EG's hands. Stun doesn't do too much, and now Calm gets that kill back and deep. That's all right for Evil Geniuses. Do they choose to stick around, though?
Deploying drone.
Again, some more stall as Drone has only seen the Viper here. 100 Thieves aren't flinching, Mimi.
3 of them still holding together. This crossfire could be brutal.
I mean, how long are we gonna wait?
Toxins going up.
There's a dart for Calm. That's gonna come down.
30 seconds left. There.
This wall's gonna drop soon, and that's gonna be the start of things. Bang, right on the other side is ready for it. Vora will get his one, but Evil Geniuses not leaving too many gaps in the armor. No issues here, even if it gets a little bit low, and even if a couple kills come in, Evil Geniuses take this round 2 all the same.
It's very good that they did not lose that round, because they were hitting straight into a stack.
You don't say.
But still, with how heavily they bought in, losing 2 guns is not insignificant. They want to make a real comeback here, putting a good effort into this bonus round. It's going to be big, and it was just the anti-eco, but I do see some concerns that I've seen as a theme.
Oh my god, I only got 1?
That's my biggest concern. Only one eco.
That is a big one, but with Calm's calling, I've seen a lot of these rounds where they take an early extremity, freeze, and just re-hit with low info without really prodding the other side. I think that can lead them to sometimes hitting low info into stacks, like we saw in that round.
Well, again, playing with limited information on the map, 5 players into A. It's a little bit peculiar, though, because it's so quiet from EG, not really showing anything. Quick exchange down into long. Zasana rotates on in. This time, though, I don't think Evil Geniuses are going to go for that protracted pause. Instead, just waiting for this wall to drop, and Okeanos catches a shaky Asana. Vora also dropping. Where did 100 Thieves go?
EG again, freeze and re-hit. This time, just win every gunfight. I suppose if you don't win in the macro, you just hope every one of your players in the 4-on-4 gets the win.
Yeah, sure, why not? And this is what we saw yesterday versus Envy, right?
Yep.
Winning the pistol, clean conversions on the bonus. Like, this is an EG that could get a little bit scarier as we get deeper into the second half.
You remember that Envy game, and just think about the fact that EG would have had no business winning that first map if it weren't for the bonus rounds. They won both on Pearl. And from this game too, where they should have had no business coming back in down 10-2, they actually have a shot.
Typically, though, we've seen Evil Geniuses get these big leads, and then the game starts to become close. That was plaguing them all throughout
Here's
2025.
the solution. Never get a big lead.
Huge.
Always come back.
Is there a cowbell down there?
There is a cowbell.
That's awesome. And these shots from Okeanos as well. Austin was just kind of caught out in the open.
Step by step, guys. Step by step.
Very true.
Sound advice. 100 Thieves still have a bye here, though.
Transfer ready. Negation ready.
Thus far, EG is called away from this veto, anchoring the BC side of the map. It's very rare you see Cryo set up A.
100 Thieves playing really heavily into mid to allow them to quickly rotate onto the extremities if necessary. Although, again, these slow, quiet rounds have to make 100 Thieves a little bit nervous because they don't really have that much forward information right now. I think a haunt was just thrown on A long. They got instantly broken. And that's all they know.
Much like Chamber, Vito basically needs help when he's soloing the BC side of the map. Unlike a KJ or a Chamber who have 2 pieces of info utility, you can watch a lot more space. So you'll oftentimes see 100 Thieves having to aggress elsewhere, but Supa...
And you saw the barrel of the gun. Supa holds the line. Notice Timatino's trapped in the corner, and it doesn't matter, he fights up through the stun with Calm to support. Another clinical round out from Evil Geniuses. Some smokes to try and muddy the waters now on the A site, but as you can see, that's a judge in Austin's hand. He's gonna have to beg Evil Geniuses to walk forward into him, otherwise this round is just over.
Thus far, this is showing a good read for EG. Ignore the veto side of the map, prioritize A. It's almost always going to be a lack of information on that side.
Get your clipping tool of choice ready.
Okay.
Let's see some TikTok teleport shenanigans.
Don't worry, guys. He's not in here.
Give us one more TP, Asuna. Come on. Go all the way into long. TP for the ninja defuse? No time. Goes for the classic of all things, weak.
You can now close your clipping software of choice.
It wasn't worth it. Unless you're hate watching. And then you're eating good. Wow, so what does that make that? Is that now 6 out of the last 7 for Evil Geniuses? Trailing back to the last half.
Don't laugh at that. It was, Chrissy said 6 out of, not back to back. Okay. We're never going to win this battle.
I don't know why you're fighting it. You just got to accept it, Mimi. There's no point. 100 Thieves, they're going to be the ones to call the timeout. And give a life. Hey, Potter, you can now discuss things with your team again as well. That's nice after using both timeouts in the first half. 100 Thieves are faced with similar problems where A lobby has been a weakness.
Yep, and I'd like to see them just commit into maybe playing some of these retake A ideas. Something I really liked the last time that they were playing this map was how often they were pushing through flanks on their retakes. Normally it would be Timatino either working something aggro towards A lobby or outside of C in the mid round, and then letting him off the leash to push through and get information. EG hasn't really been defaulting outside of, you know, leaving one player, usually Bao, outside of that A area at the beginning of the rounds to contain. I think that mid-round re-aggression into flank retakes could really help their problems on A.
I think the thing that might dissuade them from doing that is I feel like they're still playing very limited information. So if they want to do aggression, they either need to put some punch behind it, you know, multiple members be loud, or it's kind of like flipping a coin whether or not someone's going to be holding that space.
I also think with Fade, with the double Prowler, she's better than Sova at challenging the Viper utility in a lobby. You can prowl through and kind of keep pressure up in that area, and I think that's the approach we're seeing this round. 4
players on A lobby. Now, it is 1 rifle. That's in Cryo's hands, and, well, that was pretty loud from 100 Thieves, so Evil Geniuses, they're just going to hold this smoke and make sure no one keeps walking.
Thankfully, despite that Viper being alone, Cryo will be able to leapfrog to B and then over towards C connector with the double TP to join his teammate if they need.
Some silly veto tech.
I think that stuff is legitimately one of his strengths, though, those fast rotates.
Sure. Yeah, it's kind of like if Yoru and Chamber could kind of have like half of both worlds. Yeah. Like he doesn't do either of those agents as well as what they do. We have the quick rotates of a Yoru as well as the quick get out of jail free.
But 100 Thieves also plays way less Yoru than pretty much anyone else, so it's nice to have that compromise.
Good night. Well, you're getting what you asked for, Mimi. There is a flank out of A lobby. Unfortunately, Bao is still hanging out in spawn.
Buy-in for next round?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure he also got the scouting report on these flanks coming in, so he can just now play heavy contain on the anti-eco. Ooh, might have missed the timing, though. Turret telling him there's players in mid, and it doesn't matter. There's a new game for 100 Thieves. The mission is to try and kill Bao back in spawn, but there's support. The Super locks that down as well. Flawless.
So EG's now within 3 rounds, and 100 Thieves, this is where we get a look at how they wanted to approach that timeout. I liked the A lobby fight they went for there. But I think what is going to be a problem if they go for that flank approach that I talked about is you gotta kill Bao. And I think that means instead of sending Timo on solo flanks like we saw in their last game, give him a friend. Maybe Calm. He seems like a great friend from that clip.
Always got his teammates back. And right now it's Digital and Calm that are kind of just farming during this win streak for Evil Geniuses. Again, quick up into A lobby at 100 Thieves. Back-to-back rounds. It wasn't just an eco strat. This is a clear adaptation from the timeout, but Evil Geniuses respond in turn. Already up into window. Digis in. Anticipates. And taken out. That hurts now, as there's still a player on C site to deal with. Cryo steps in as well. This is a brutal pinch. Now as the Hunter's Fury comes in, it's actually Calm to lay down supporting fire for EEG to get the spike down.
Big whiff from Bang, puts it back into a 4-on-4, and with no flank with a Viper's Pit down, this is a very difficult retake.
The only way in will be Vora's Nightfall. But there's still that late pressure of Calm that'll come into Garage. 100 Thieves have to anticipate it, and they can't wait too long. Vora's looking for the right angle on this, but all it means is more and more time gone.
No Prowlers to follow up. Supa can still hang out in his pit. 2
players caught on the Nightfall. Bao decayed down, but too much time has been bought. Calm is already approaching on the flank. Calm takes down the first, and his head swivel back towards him. The rest of Evil Geniuses find their mark. 100 Thieves look out of sorts. Get on out of there, Vora. You don't stand a chance.
Nightmare scenario now for 100 Thieves. Out of their timeout, lose the first rifle round. And EG, it's simple solutions, but they've consistently been a step ahead this half. From knowing previous that 100 Thieves plays heavier around the veto, has low info on A, slam A to start your round.
Ooh.
How do your opponent's timeout? Change it up. Know that they're going to shift this setup. Know that C's going to be light. And give us 2 beautiful mid-round C heads.
Let's go, guys!
From 2 at the half to within 2 now. Evil Geniuses actually taking this fight into A lobby again. This time, 100 Thieves not answering it. This time, it's Cryo anchoring this A side with limited support.
There.
And already not so low. Without a TP to get out of sight either.
Wow. Digis in goes to the Outlaw buy. All 5 members of 100 Thieves on light armor. Digis in is down low, but as he creeps forward and waits for the jump peak, that is easy pickings for him.
The interceptor will slow things for another moment, but EG have no intention but to re-hit.
Tracking that head even through the box.
Now they're going to get suspicious, so they see the neon there, they hear the veto, they understand this is a step, but they don't have alert to call back into. We'll have to take some time re-clearing space.
But 100 Thieves don't have information on B or C either. It's just solo players, so a very passive play from Bang as he has to patrol both B site and Garage. It's a little bit uncomfortable. 25 seconds on the clock, and B will be the call from Evil Geniuses. A high TP out of Okeanos. The first one goes his way. Dodging around as Timotino comes in on the flank, ripping apart the back lines. 100 Thieves attack from every single front and find so much success. That spike left in the open. No time left for Bao. 100 Thieves will take their first of the half.
Both teams play that round with basically 2/3 of the map in the fog of war. 100 Thieves had passive anchors on C and B. EG only had a contain with a turret. Neither team had any information, except for towards A. So when they realize the stack has been called into that site, EG have to gamble and hit B with low info.
Nice!
And with 100 Thieves realize it quick enough, practically the entire team there to pinch as Timotino pushes in on the flank.
Despite it appearing, there we go. All 5 players ready to go here. Timotino shows mid instantly back. It's a fake teleport from Okeanos. He's been enjoying this in recent games right at the beginning of round, but already 100 Thieves have cleared out their spawn, realize that's going to be a fake.
11!
Back to the more usual veto setup towards C, and Cryo dead in an instant. Good night.
That's trouble. And now Vora caught out by the utility. Somehow goes unpinged. No one's looking at him. Vora! You madman! Still alive. No support, gets the headshot before ultimately falling.
Now a 2-on-2, but Bang with the stinger fights back. Another clutch for Calm.
100 Thieves taking their time. Where does Calm move from here? Paranoia catches him. That's uncomfortable. Sees a shoulder, that's his! And Bang is so low. Deals around, but Bang stinger again! Will take 11 for 100 Thieves.
That was the same spot from the last Calm clutch on this map that people remember. Practically the same scenario. But this time it's Bang on literally 1 HP.
And Vora here too. Times out the stun. And then Timotino, who sends himself in there to die so Vora can get those kills, just lines it up for him.
And that's a heartbreaking round. The momentum on this comeback suddenly stunted.
I get this? Thanks. Alarm bot out.
Thieves potentially ready to fight for A once again.
They know Bao has this ult. Don't want to allow an execute to come through.
Yeah, Evil Genius is trying to pivot away from here.
Right here.
We are aware and trying to get these HUD issues sorted for the time being. It is 11-8, 100 Thieves leading this round.
Very quick rotation in from Cryo, but spotted by the drone. It's 12-8 in fast.
Yeah.
Match point here.
Oh, nice timing, caught from Supa. That is brilliant. The next one steps in and deleted. Evil Genius is in full control now.
And that's reminded me of the Supa of last year. So good in these positions, and another fight ready for him. Backs away.
Oh, these shots tracking a little bit dangerous. For a moment, 3 now for Timotino. Still though, so little time, and now with Nanos being chucked onto the spike, this round should be a wrap. Needs the half stick and will not find it.
100 Thieves are struggling to deal with this Viper wall in A lobby. They feel the need to commit so many resources to fight into that space that the rest of the map has been weak. And because Cryo as a Sentinel has low information, doesn't have a second piece of utility to hold space, Supa's realized he can find these gaps, work aggressively through Garage, and open the entire map like a cannon.
So, another game point, 400 Thieves. Austin actually only with a stinger. Has always been catching the short end of these buys, whether it's a Judge or a SMG. This time the rest of Evil Geniuses close behind. EG have some ultimates to work with, and nice little lineup there for the Nano. He's gonna push Asuna away. The rest of 100 Thieves have moved in pretty quickly though. So I like this calling out from Evil Geniuses, just pump the brakes.
A better setup though for 100 Thieves, a re-clear in Garage. 2 players posted forward, down A short, but they lack information towards long. That'll prime rotates to come back in. 100 Thieves. Vora. He's calling this one.
This is
he
a
thinks
great
it's an A
read.
finish, and it is a good read.
Yep, especially after seeing that Viper wall go up. This is about the timing you'd expect to start seeing players. A few more seconds and maybe 100 Thieves could overthink it, but now with some noise is made, that is going to give up the play. Still, Timotino in the corner. Oh my word, he is gone. A lockdown with less than 30 seconds on the clock. 100 Thieves are holding their ground, fighting in. Cryo advances and has a corner in long. 2 players tuck away. Com is going to have to deal with them. There's so little time left. EG have 10 seconds and need these fights. Bora still alive. As the spike goes down, 100 Thieves approaching on every angle. Only 2 alive for Evil Geniuses. Supa stepping forward. Caught up between these smokes. The first is his. Tucks into Hells. The drop comes down. A 1-on-2. Bow. It's his. What else is there? Bow's got it. EG stay alive.
Huge Red Bull clutch for Bao. He had a nightmare start to this game alongside EG. But now comes online. Dropped a 30 bomb in their last series. And stepping up here again. He makes such great choices. And how he fights around these smokes and how he isolates the duels in the 1v2.
Let's go! I'm activated now, buddy!
Potter knows that's what they needed. Keeps EG in this game. And with 100 Thieves reset to another eco, now they're the ones calling the second timeout in a half.
100 Thieves have 2 chances to come up with 1 answer on this defensive side. So while they don't have the buy on this next round, I want to ask, when they did piece together those 2-round wins, is there something they can tap back into to replicate that success?
Yeah, I do like the rounds where they're fighting for a lobby control. I think they have to deny that space. But what I'm still waiting for is to see these rounds where they're being willing to re-aggress further in the mid-round. I don't know how much they figured it out yet, but most of these rounds, EG is playing 4-1s and not actually proactively holding space in mid, or if they're leaning towards C, only have 1 player containing towards A. I think being willing to test these extremities, test that space in mid a little bit more, is going to go a long way to better punishing EG when they go for these low info, late round executes that they've done round after round.
Yeah, because Bao's hold has been a little bit more reserved when he's containing. They're playing a little bit deeper. So 100 Thieves do have more room to work with, if they so please. Wondering what the idea is now for 100 Thieves. 3 players down long trying to farm an orb, and that's big. Bang, if he gets that orb, that would have been the ultimate online for the final round of regulation.
Here.
Potentially major implications for the rest of this one off of just that spam kill. Good night.
Nice cleanup for EG. Staying steady on this anti-eco and ensuring that the fate of this game rests in the last round.
Interesting to see. Cryo was actually teleporting back towards the C side. I do anticipate he is going to try and end up dying to someone here.
He was trying to get the
running for
orb.
the C orb.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wants to have that evolution for next round.
Either way, you're dying here anyways to get your money and you unlock that one, but could have tried to go for a spike death, I suppose. Not like EG are going to have any chances to unlock major ults for the final round. They've already got their 3.
This game has been so interesting. Both teams have struggled to solve the exact same problem. How do we deal with the Viper lurk wall on a lobby? It's been such a problem for defenders. Struggling to have information towards that A side of the map, trying aggressive looks, trying to play more passive, and even when they switch it up, getting ran over on C. But now, there's one last chance for 100 Thieves to figure it out.
And for 100 Thieves, there are 2 win conditions in this final round. First one, Timotino has gone for the operator. Where is he going to play to get the early picks? Second, Cryo has evolution. And when there's big major ultimates on the other side, how can he use that to his advantage? To anchor down a site, even with a Hunter's Fury coming in.
Cryo died, boosted up in a previous round on C. That operator makes it all the more difficult. But after failing to see anything initially, EG regroup towards mid, an area of the map that they've barely touched this attack half.
Vora playing all the way back in Gong as well. So Evil Geniuses,
I got the
a
spike.
lot of space to slip up into.
But for most of this game, 100 Thieves have needed resources for A. Now just one Neon with an op.
100 Thieves just cleared down C long. And I think they've got to be ready. Heavy presence in mid. As EG test garage, pull out a Paranoia, no kills to come down yet. And now the B hit. This is where EG are going to gamble everything. Judges in, taken down. That's another. In a 3-on-5. Heroes are needed. Bao could be that guy for EG. He's still stuck here, but it falls to Calm. The spike down, 25 seconds left. OT a far cry away. It won't be there. 100 Thieves take map 1.
From a 10-2 half to a 13-10 win for 100 Thieves. EG were so close to pulling that one off, but snuffed out at the very last second. Such an interesting game across the board. Neither of these teams managing to fully figure out their defense. But in the end, it's a big win for 100 Thieves. They take their opponent's map pick, they set up for bind a map that they've looked so comfortable on, no matter the roster, but continue